right, hello and welcome to a session of Fit Essentials. We're live here in St. George, Utah. Grateful for this beautiful backdrop. And this is our Fit Essentials class. Today we're going to be starting down on our mat. We'll have some mobility work, we'll warm up our forearms, and then we'll be working some movements down on the floor. And I'll be making some recommendations for adjustments as we go through as well. But first, let's go ahead and come on down to hands and knees. We'll warm up our wrists and forearms and get loose from there. All right, so just slowly make your way on down to the mat. Coming on your knees. And before we jump into any breathing, we're going to go ahead and just stretch out our forearms. So you're going to turn your palm down towards the floor, rotate your hand so your fingers are pointing in towards you. Again, other hand as well. Rotate the palms down, turn the fingers in. Ensure you're not arching the low back here. So pull the belly in, can even just gently round through the back. Then you're going to lean back. And a nice stretch on the forearms. Moose is joining us today. Very good. Once you get a nice solid stretch there, come back forward, give a break from that position. And now you're going to turn the hands in so the fingers point towards one another. Spread those fingers nice and wide. Look to interlace them. Divide the knees a bit more if you need to. And now we'll make some nice, gentle circular patterns here. We're between 3 and 5 circles each direction. Again, just looking to get some movement through the wrists, some stretching through those forearms. If you haven't already, go ahead and switch directions of that swivel of your torso. Rotate your body around the opposite way. Very nice. From here, you can turn your feet so that your toes are turning down. So the toes are into the ground. And then if you're comfortable to do so, go ahead and sit back and kind of come into a kneeling position. You can see my feet, I've got the toes turned down, so it stretches the toes out a bit. And then once we're in that position, we're going to take the backs of the hands together. So all your fingers are pointing down towards the floor. And you're going to draw those elbows down, draw the shoulders down out of the ears. Get a gentle stretch for the back side of the forearms. Shouldn't be painful to sit back on the toes. So fix to that big toe joint. If anything's uncomfortable there, readjust. Otherwise, it's a great stretch. Keep that mobility through your toes. Good. Shake out those hands. And now we're going to go palms together with the fingers pointing up towards the sky. Still want to draw those shoulders down out of the ears. And now as you do that, you're going to try to draw the elbows up towards your ceiling. The bottoms of the palms together, Sharon, and elbows pull up. Yep, fingers are pointing up towards the sky. Good, and then shake it out there. Shake out those hands. Very nice. Coming back onto all fours, we're going to do a few patterns of our cat-cow breathing. So spread those hands nice and wide. Place one hand under each shoulder. You can walk the knees a little bit wider. Again, still staying nice and strong through the middle. And now for this cat-cow pattern, you're going to exhale as you push through your shoulders, lifting your spine to the sky. Draw the chin in towards your chest. And then when you're ready to inhale, gently allow the back to arch, lift the head and neck, looking straight forward. And again, we'll exhale, pushing through, allowing that back to round as you draw that chin to the chest, pull your belly button in towards your spine, and inhale. Try to breathe in through the nose. And out through the mouth. We'll go about 3 more times here. Just move through the cycle that works best for your breathing. Elongate that breath pattern a bit more than you normally would. Breathing into the back of the rib cage. On that exhale, try to get a little bit more air out than normal. So blow that air out. Got one more time through. Breathing in, gently arch. And exhale, gently round. Very good. From there, bring your big toes together. Divide the knees, reach those arms straight out, take it back into child's position. Lowering the head down. And we'll spend about 3 cycles of breathing here. So as you breathe in, try to expand the back of the rib cage. And then as you breathe out, see if your body wants to come a little bit closer to your mat. Again, breathe in, expand, exhale, relax, stretching it on down. And rest from there. All right, let's go ahead and come on up to standing for a moment. So inchworm your way up to the top. Do a couple stretches here from standing. Got a blended group today here, so I want to make sure everyone's going to be ready to go for this next circuit. But first, as you come up to stand, let's go ahead and rotate those hips around. And when you're ready, rotate the hips the other way. Nice and smooth, nice and gentle. Solid. And then we're going to go into a little bit of a toe touch. So walk the feet back in, everything pointing forward, soft bend the knees, draw the abdomen in, chin down to the chest, and then slide the hands down the legs. Never forcing, just see where your mobility is this morning. Can you touch your shins, your ankles? Can you get down to the floor? Once you find that bottom position, hold that for about 2 cycles of breathing. So breathe in nice and deep. Exhale, see if your body wants to come a little bit lower. One more time. On that next inhale, go ahead and come on back to standing. Slowly round your way up to standing. Very good. Widen the base of your stance once again, walking the feet back out. And then we're going to take it into a little bit of a side stretch sway. So we're going to reach up and across, downside arm. I went on the hip at first, but reach across to your opposite thigh. And then as you switch, we'll bring it across. One hand reaches down, the other hand up. So the downside hand, the palm is pointing up. The upside hand, the palm is pointing down. So go about 3 times each way. Over. If you feel steady to do so, go ahead and peer up at that top hand. Breathing in and flowing through, switching sides. Reaching across, peering up at that top hand. Good. One more time each direction. Ensure you have a soft bend in your knees as you move through this. Nice and smooth. And balance it out. Fantastic. All right, let's head back down to the mat. We're going to be on all fours working our donkey kicks. So nice wide base of support. Walk those hands down, walk the way out. We're coming down to hands and knees. We're going to have 3 rounds of this, working for about 40 seconds with each exercise. So for those donkey kicks, you're going to make a nice wide handprint. You're going to be nice and neutral through the belly with the sole of the foot up towards the sky. You're going to have the knee bent, and we're going to be extending through the hip, just like so. All right, so we've already had a few people start. We're going to be doing this 3 times through, but let's just take a pause for a second. We'll all start together. Nice wide handprints, starting in 5, and 3, 2, 1. Here we go. One of the most common things we'll run into on this pattern is that you'll start to arch the spine. So really key as you move through these kicks. Nice and steady movement, engaging the glute, and then keep that abdomen drawn in so you don't feel that low back begin to arch. Very nice. Breathing in as you lower the knee down. Exhale as you drive that leg up, just nice and smooth here, and keep that knee bent a little bit more. Yep, there it is. Perfect. Looks good, Diane. Very nice. About 1 or 2 more. Up, down, up, down. When you finish that rep, go ahead and rest. Take about 10 seconds, readjust the hands, readjust the knees as needed, and then we're going to go to that opposite leg. 2, 1, and here we go. Opposite leg donkey kicks. Once you know the movement pattern, have your head so that you're looking straight down between the hands. Just pay attention. We start to lose the head forward sometimes, so make a note to draw that chin in, keeping that head held back. We'll work the muscles in the front of the neck as well, which oftentimes get pretty weak. Still drawing the midline in. Sole of foot pushing straight up. Good. Now you make sure you keep the arms nice and straight. Elbows don't want to be hyperextended, but locked out. Good. Go 1 more here. 2, one, and rest. Very nice. We're going to roll onto our backs next. We're going to do a couple stretches for the low back, and then we'll get into our first set of glute bridges. So come on down nice and controlled as you lie onto your back. And we're going to start that double kneaded chest. So you let your head rest back. Go ahead and hug both legs into the body and gently rock side to side. First round is going to go a little bit slower than the others because we'll kind of prep our body as we're moving through. Very good. From here, go ahead and place the feet flat on the ground with the knees bent about hip width apart, arms down at the side. You can readjust the shoulders as needed if you want to make sure they're pulled back and down. And then when you're ready, we're going to build into our bridges. You're going to think about rolling your hips back, flattening your low back into the floor, and then just nice and smooth. As you push through your feet, you're going to raise your hips up towards the sky. Nothing to prove on this first rep. Just start to open the hips and then gradually lower yourself back down. Coming down about one segment at a time. And then when you're ready, you'll take it back up into that next one. Fire the back side of the body. Keep the knees pushing laterally or pushing out. Good. Down, raise those hips up. The higher you get your hips, the more you want to focus on drawing your chin in towards your chest. So you'll lengthen the back side of the neck. Very good. One or two more. Raise the hips up. Knees drive wide and control those hips down. Nice. And 3, 2, 1, and resting there. Fantastic. All right, and then our third exercise of the series, we're going to roll back over. We're going to be working our down dog position. You can either just practice your down dog, or if you are confident in your down dog, then we're going to be doing a down dog knee to elbow. So if you haven't done these before, you can always watch on the first set. You're going to make a nice wide handprint, place both hands down, turn those toes under. Starting with that down dog position, you're going to lift those hips high, encouraging your heart towards your thighs as you pulse back. That would be our down dog motion. Those of you that want to go right into those knees to elbows, you're going to really lift up through that upper body as you draw your knee towards that same side elbow. Exhale as you push back. Inhale as you draw forward. We're alternating sides. You don't feel ready for that knee to elbow, just practice that down dog position. Kind of rocking back, rocking forward, staying on all fours. Very good. And as you push back, or sorry, opposite of that. Exhale as you push back. Breathe in as you draw forward. Beautiful. And 2, 1, and rest. Great job. We're coming down into our child's position to rest. Toes together, knees divide. Walk those hands straight out and rock those hips back. That's the end of our first circuit. We'll take a little bit moment to stretch here, and then we back to those donkey kicks here in about 20 seconds. Always rock your body side to side in this child's position. All right, everybody, 10 seconds till we start round 2. Get back onto all fours. Spread those fingers nice and wide. Center the knees. And we're back to our donkey kicks. 2, 1, here we go. And we're going to keep the knee bent throughout. Draw the belly in. Feel that hamstring fire as you just drive the foot up nice and smooth towards the sky. Excellent. Strong support out of that upper body. And then neutral head position, looking straight down between the hands. Very nice. 10 seconds left. About one more. And 2, 1, and rest. Feel free to come off your hands for a second. We'll take 10 seconds in between sides. Shake out those wrists. Then as you come back down, remember you want to starfish those hands. The wider your fingers are spread, the more support for the wrist. 2, 1, here we go. Opposite leg. Great, Kathy. Nice, Diane. Keeping that knee bent. Solid, Sharon. Straight up. Drawing it in. Kind of push the sole of your foot, the bottom of that foot up towards the sky. Nice. 15 seconds left. Keep that moving, breathing smooth. And 2, 1, and rest. Very nice. Taking it back on the back. Second round of glute bridges. And we'll still give that moment to stretch. We did that double knee to chest last time. Now we'll move into that 2-knee twist. If you felt pretty tight on that double knee to chest, just stay there. Otherwise, bring the arms out to the sides, both legs together, and you'll bring the legs across the body as you look over the opposite shoulder. So as I bring my legs to the left, I look over to the right. And then as I sweep my legs up and across to the right, I'm going to turn my head and look to the left. Quite common to get a little adjustment through there. Feel some cracks into that back, but you can control how far you go into that twist. Get about 2 on each side. And then we'll get ready for those bridges. So set the feet flat on the ground. Reposition those shoulders as needed. Make sure your neck's not extended. So you can lift the head, draw that chin in. And then when you're ready to start those bridges, arms to the side, palms down. Rock those hips back and lift them up towards the sky. As we're doing these bridges, obviously we're trying to fire the back side of the body, but you can also focus on some of those smaller muscles. So you can think about clenching those muscles as if you're trying to stop the stream of flow when you're going to the bathroom. Bruce thinks that's funny. Draw that chin in, push those hips high. But also think about pushing that big toe down. Really activate the arch of your foot while you're doing these bridges. Take about another 30 seconds here. Nice bright sunshine this morning. Good job. Still focus on drawing that chin in as you lift those hips up. And we're looking to avoid any kind of pinching sensation in the low back, front of the hips. If you're getting that pinching sensation, don't go quite as high. And 2, 1, and rest. Great job. We're rolling it back over to all fours to work on that down dog, knee to elbow. If you did that first pattern and you felt good going to the same side elbow, now we can progress that to a diagonal pattern, bringing the knee across the opposite elbow. 2, 1, and here we go. So down dog position first, then lifting up, pulling the knee across the body towards that opposite elbow. Driving back, really pushing to the palms of the hand and coming forward. Nice. And Diane, you can just work that down dog. So just lift the hips, focus to open that mid back. You can also focus to stretch out those heels here by pedaling, or stretch the calves by pedaling the heels. Awesome. Everybody else got about 10 seconds. Keep working that knee, drawing it across the body. And 3, 2, 1, and rest. Great job. Coming back down to the knees. As we go into child's this time, we're going to go a supinated position. So you're going to turn your palms up, bring your little fingers together. So pinky fingers touch, big toes touch, knees divide, and then from there we rock on back. So just slightly changes the orientation of the upper body stretch. That's the end of set 2. We're going to do it one more time. We'll start here in about 30 seconds back on those donkey kicks. In the meantime, just breathe here into the back. All right, we've got 15 seconds. Start to make your way back to all fours. Spread those hands out nice and wide, just underneath each shoulder. Midline draws in, so we're not arching the spine. And 3, 2, 1, here we go. Bottom of the foot straight up towards the sky. That knee down and extend. Good. Keeping yourselves nice and level through the hips and mid back. Excellent. halfway through. Moving well. Get about 2 more times. Lift it up, control it down, drive it up, and take a rest. Great job. If you want to come off those hands for a second, shake it out. Just got to balance it out on the opposite side. So when you're ready, we'll make our way back down, spread those hands wide, place one under each shoulder, and onto our second leg. In 2, 1, here we go. That breathing fluid, arms nice and strong, chin drawn in. Looks great. Belly button pulled in, putting that arch, that low back. Nice. Activating the hamstring, activating the glutes. Loose. 10 seconds. And 3, 2, 1, and rest. Great job. Taking it back onto your back. Last round of glute bridge. All right, make your way on down. Remember, as you come down, pull those shoulders back and down. We're going to skip the stretch this time and just go into our bridges. So hands at the sides. And when you're ready, you're rolling that low back into the floor as you raise the hips up. Chin drawn into the chest. We'll take a minute on this final set to practice these bridges. It's also great practice to pause in that open position, really squeeze and get the backside to activate. Your goal is with each rep to see if you can wake up a little bit more of that tissue. We oftentimes are only using a small percentage of our muscle tissues. So the more we try to squeeze and activate, the more we wake up some of those dormant muscle cells that exist in the back of our body. Or muscle fibers, I guess I should say. They all have cells. Draw that chin in as you raise up. Good. 1 or 2 more. Push through that big toe. Keep those knees driving wide. Beautiful. And 3, 2, 1, and rest. Fantastic. All right, just our final time. Rolling it over again. Back into that down dog. If you're doing the knee to elbow option, let's stick with that diagonal choice, going across the body. All right, wide handprint, turn those toes under, and when you're ready, hips high. Really open the mid-back. Again, we're thinking about trying to bring our heart towards our thighs as we push through the heel of the hand, and lifting up, drawing that knee across the body. Keep breathing. He's right here. Nice work. 10 seconds left. Good job. And 2, 1, and rest. Great job. Back to the knees. We're going to do one more version of a child's, but we're going to add an inner thigh stretch to it as well. So we'll start on all fours, hands and knees, and let's start with your left leg. You're going to kick it straight out to the side. You're going to turn the sole of the foot down to your mat. That's your left leg. Take your left hand, just slightly come across the body like you're trying to match it up to that right hand. And then from here, you're going to rock back like you're going into child's position, lowering the head down so you get a nice stretch for that inner thigh. So you can either stay there and just hold that position as you breathe, or I like to move through it. So I like to rock forward and then rock back again. Get some length into that inner thigh. Gripping the foot down the whole time. A lot of times your foot will want to lift up and come onto the inside of that ankle area. Try to grip it down. Keep it planted on your mat. Good. When you're ready, center your hands. Bring that leg back in, and we'll do the same thing on the other side. So now it's going to be your right leg is going to extend out. Turn the sole of the foot down to the mat, gripping the toes. Right hand just gently comes across towards the left. We'll rock back from here. Very nice. Lower that head down. Again, either staying there or rocking forward, rocking back about 3 times. Breathe in as I rock forward, and then breathe out as I rock back. So one more. And rest. Great job. Walk that leg in. And then let's go ahead and go one more time in a down dog. This time we'll give a little bit more attention to those calves. Rocking those heels out, pedaling one heel down to the floor, then the other. And then when you're ready, you'll slowly walk your feet to the hands, walk the hands to the feet, soft bend those knees, and then just nice and slow, coming up to standing. Woo. All right, once you come on up to standing, let's grab a drink. And we'll get ready for the next piece. All right, if you've already gotten a drink, just kind of waiting for some people to catch up. We'll just do a little side step arm swing here. Keep some blood flow going. Alternating which arm crosses over. Pivot the palms forward as you swing the arms back. Really trying to squeeze those shoulders back and down. Nice. All right, super. So we're getting ready for some deadlifts. Some hinging pattern, hinging over, picking something up off the ground. But I talked to some people that were here before class, gave some option if you want to be doing some squats throughout as well. We can do some squatting if you weren't here yesterday. So let's go ahead, even if you were here yesterday, let's warm up some squats together. So you're going to place your feet about hip width apart, just a gentle toe out. And then with the feet firmly planted, you're going to push your knees wide, send your hips back as you reach those arms up and out. Just coming down nice and controlled. And then standing tall. Let's go anywhere between 3 and 5 here. Eyes up, chest tall. Feet firmly planted. Fantastic. Chin out. Sinking down. And stand. Good. See one more. Nice, Diane. Super. All right, and then we're going to review that toe touch like we did before we got down on the floor and started that first series. So with all the toes pointing straight ahead, belly drawn in, bring your chin down to your chest, and then slide those hands down your legs, allowing your back to round a little bit here. And I want to use this as a bit of a screening exercise for you to note where your range of motion is. Can you confidently touch the ground? Are you a little bit stiff there? If you're stiff, touch the ground. When we are getting ready for these deadlifts, it's probably best not to go all the way to the ground. It might put some strain on that low back. We need appropriate length in our hamstrings to not compensate in that lower back. All righty, and then I want to also stretch out that upper body a bit more. We have some dips coming up in this next series, as well as some push-ups. So let's open those hips and triceps at the same time. We're going to do our stagger stance, triceps side bend. Anchor your left leg down, step your right foot back, draw those ribs down and in as you reach that arm up. So it'd be your right arm. Draw the chin in here. We're going to bend that elbow, reaching up and around. So there's 2 parts to this. You're going to let the hips rock back, rock those hips forward, squeeze the glute, lift the chest, pulling that elbow back. Now we're going to bend towards the side of that lead leg. Very nice. Holding there for about a breath or 2. Coming out of it, we'll do that 3 times. Again, hips rock back. Lift the chest as you rock the hips forward, really squeezing the glute on that trail leg. And then we're going to bend to the side. If you're comfortable to do so, you can add a little rotation where you're trying to peer up to the ceiling, past that elbow. Beautiful. Unwind one more time. Hips back, hips forward, lift the chest, squeeze the glutes, and gently side bend. Adding that rotation if you'd like, peering up. Fantastic. As you unwind, let's take it back into that side step arm swing once again. And then we'll balance out the other side. Wonderful. All right, when you're ready, now you're going to anchor down your right leg. Step that left foot back. Make sure your feet are hip width apart. Now the arm of that trail leg, so it should be your left arm reaches up, bending that elbow. Draw that chin in as you reach up and around. So remember our two-parter here, hips forward, squeezing the glute, eyes up, chest up, and then bending towards that side leg, front leg. Don't worry about the rotation on the first one. Breathe in a couple of times here, then we'll come out of that side bend, shift those hips back, shift the hips forward, lift the chest, side bend. And if you'd like, you can rotate that downside, try to peer up towards the ceiling or sky. Good, unwind one more time. Hips back, hips forward, lift that chest, taking it first to the side, and then adding that gentle rotation. Looks great, crew, good job. And go ahead and unwind and shake it out once again. Woo! Nice. All right, friends, we're getting ready for some deadlifts. We had suitcase deadlifts on the original plan, but I'm going to switch it up. We're going to be doing a sumo deadlift. So with the weight in between the legs, you can go one arm or you could go two arms. Now, if you're someone that would like to include some squatting, we are deadlifting twice in this circuit with the idea of it being a single arm. But if you want to include some squatting, you could do the deadlift with us first with two arms. And then on the second time, when the rest of us are going to go on to the opposite arm, that's when you could do some squatting in place of the second set of deadlifts. Okay, and I'll remind you when we get there. But in between those exercises, we're going to have a dip. If you don't feel comfortable to do a dip, you can also hold a plank or work on some push-ups, but push-ups are our fourth exercise. So we're going to be going 3 times through this. If you're like, I don't know what she's talking about, just follow along. You can always jump in when you're ready. The first movement is going to be that deadlift. If you're joining me for the single arm, starting your non-dominant side. So that's typically going to be the left side for most. I'll be holding it my right, so ideally I'll be mirroring you. And again, if you're going to go some squats, hold on with 2 hands. All right, nice wide base stance. Draw those shoulders back. Make sure we're not arching through the spine. Soft bend in those knees. And then when you're ready, we're going to start to hinge forward. Long spine as you bow forward. Bringing that weight right between the legs. Squeeze the glutes as you stand. Good. Over and up. So Diana, if you could turn sideways, you too, Sharon, I can give a little bit better feedback if I can see you from the side. Hinging over, standing tall. Very nice. Moving with control. I'm watching the screen, but ideally for you, you want to be looking straight down as you bow forward, straight ahead as you stand tall. In, staying tight. Good. That's 30 seconds. We're going to take you through about 10 more seconds, up and down. Nice and strong. Good. And 2, 1, and rest. Great. So we're going to those dips next. As you come into position for the dips, I'm going to start sitting on my chair, draw the shoulders back, place the hands down, and I'm going to come out here. When we're ready, we're going to pull those elbows back, lowering down, and then lift the chest. You can add a hip lift to it as well. Elbows draw in, keeping the shoulders down out of the ears throughout. Nice. Control down, drive out strong. This is where you want to pretend you have those little mini oranges inside your armpits. You want to try to rotate your elbows forward, squeeze through those armpits like you're trying to make some orange juice. Good. Breathing in as you lower, exhale as you push through. Very nice. Good, Kathy. That's the way, Diane. Yeah, beautiful. Maybe about 1 or 2 more. Sinking in, driving out. 2, 1, and rest. Awesome job. All right, coming back up to our feet. So those of you that are joining me for the single arm deadlift will be on the opposite arm. Here's where those of you that want some squatting in this session can do some squats for this piece. All right, chest tall, everything tight, and here we go. Squeeze the glutes, bowing down, nice. Keep that nice long spine as you bow forward, pushing those knees wide. Good. Yep. That's great, Kathy. There you go, Sharon. Yeah, fantastic, Diane. Good movement patterns. That's 30 seconds. We'll go for about 10 more. And controlling down. And 3, 2, 1, and resting there. Awesome. Push-ups are next. I'm going to demo off the chair. You could use the wall, or you can come on down to the floor. If you're working off your knees on the floor, if you have somewhere you can elevate your hands, that's what I would prefer, so you can have a longer lever to push. All right, with everything tight, as you lower down, go ahead and begin if you know it. Keep your elbows in tight to the sides. Avoid winging those elbows wide. And then watch those hips don't drop down. So we don't want those hips dropping forward. Keep them nice and level. Come a little bit closer, see how everybody's looking. Excellent. Yeah, Kathy, those are getting stronger. Way to go. Nice, Sharon. Nice. I like the shoulder taps. There you go, Diane. Keeping those hips elevated as you lower down. Yep. Great. Just over 30 seconds. And anytime you feel like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get out of this, you can always hold that top position. And there's our 40. Awesome work. Come on up to your feet. This is the end of this set. We're just going to do some blood flow for a minute. So either some jumping jacks, some step jacks. We'll be changing up the movement here every 20 seconds. Good. You want to add a little jumping to it, you can. Make sure it works for your body. We're going to be doing a march next. Very good. So switching up to the march, we'll do a crossbody punch, raising those knees up. You can go slow here or fast, just depending upon your energy, your recovery recently. Try to exhale with that punch. Nice. And then our last one of this sequence, we're going to be doing our alternating knee to elbow from standing here. So standing tall. This is challenging the balance a little bit to make sure you really lift up. Pull everything up and together. 10 seconds left. Good. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Nice job. Let's grab a drink. That's set 1. Fantastic. All right, we're going to take about another 20 seconds till we start set 2. Those of you that are ready to go, you can just do a little bit of a standing rotation, soft bend the knees, just rotating side to side. All right, and then we'll get ready in that position. So it looks like everybody joined me on that single arm deadlift, so I'll just speak to that this time. Soft bend the knees, neutral through the midline, long spine as you bow down. Pick an arm to start with. Here we go. Push the feet, squeeze the glutes. Long spine as you lower down. Breathe into lower. Exhale as you stand. Keeping that weight close to your body. So we're using that upper body to kind of pin it in. Shoulders should feel like it's locked back and down. So then it doesn't swing wide. The farther away it gets from us, the harder it's going to be on our back. Puts more of a strain. If you keep that weight close to you, it's going to be easier to manage. Excellent. And maybe one more. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Good job. Dips are next. Head to your chair, bench, whatever you have to work with. Sitting nice and tall, draw those shoulders back. Got another 5 seconds till we go. And 2, 1, here we are. Shoulders stay down out of the ears, elbows pull back towards each other versus winging out wide. Option if you want to lift those hips to the top, add that bridge position, you can. Opening the chest. Kind of like a modification of that tabletop bridge we did at the end of our session yesterday. So it really opens up the chest. Call it a heart opener as well. Woo. And obviously it also opens up the front of those hips. Nice. Maybe one more. Sinking down, lifting up, and rest. Woo. All right, we'll make our way back up. Opposite arm for the deadlift. Good job. Standing tall. Make sure we're not arching the spine here, so rock it all back. Soft bend those knees. Drive the knees wide as you bow forward, and here we go. Second half of set 2. This is our second of 3 rounds for this circuit. Nice. Looks great, Diane. Really good positioning. All right, Kathy's getting some squats in. I like it. Halfway. As you stand tall, stack those shoulders right over the hips. Hinging from the hips, just like a door hinge. Bowing down, long spine. Maybe one more here. Control it down, standing tall, and rest. All right, back to our push-ups or holding that plank. Go off the floor this time. Nice wide handprint. Set the feet. And 2, 1, here we go. We don't want those elbows to wing wide, so draw the shoulders back. Keep the elbows close. And watch from leading with the head too. Sometimes people will lead that head forward. Draw that chin in. Lead with the heart. Lowering your chest to the surface, whether it's the floor, the wall, your tabletop. You want to also think about engaging the backside. Squeeze the glutes, squeeze the thighs. We have just over 10 seconds left. Yep. If you get to where you can't do it anymore, you can hold the top of that plank, or you can do our rolling push-up, coming onto the forearm and coming up. And 2, 1, and rest. All right, back up to the feet for our blood flow. Similar to what we did last time. We'll start with our step jacks or jump jacks. Nice. 10 seconds here. We'll go back to that march and punch next. You can add a little hop to it if you want to make it like a skip and punch. What that look like, I just add a little hop, punching the arms across the body, knees up nice and high. Good. Fantastic. 3, 2, 1, and then our knee to elbow. Staying tall, breathe, smile. The end of set 2. Doing great. Keep drawing up through the belly, squeezing those shoulders back. We'll go another 10 seconds, then we'll have a good break here. 2, 1, and rest. All right, we're gonna take 40 seconds. Grab some drinks, shake it out, and then we'll be into our final set. Nice work, crew. All right, 20 seconds, so we go into our final round. So you wanna look to pick up the heaviest weights you feel confident to use. You can have the weight right between the feet. Nice wide base stance. As always here, making sure we're nice and neutral through the midsection. Bend to those knees, bowing down, and 2, 1. Here's round 3. Yep. Nice, Diane. Bending over, picking it up. Practicing those mechanics of daily life. Ease the booty as you stand tall. Sometimes people will tend to lean back. Don't necessarily want to lean back, just want to just stack ourselves. Shoulder stack right over the hips. 30 seconds done, a couple more seconds to go. Been going for 40 seconds on each exercise. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Nice. Last set of dips. Head to the chair. Setup position is really key here. So we sit tall, pull the shoulders back, then we place the hands. And 3, 2, 1. Final round. Lowering down, elbows draw back, lifting through. Fantastic. Breathe in as you lower, exhale as you drive up. Remember those little mini oranges in the armpits? You want to squeeze into them. Lock out those elbows. as always, I don't want you all going to failure. So I don't want you to feel like you're going to fall out of position. You need to take a break before we hit that 40 seconds. Should not have any shame about that. Just listen to your body. Otherwise, maybe one more, 2, 1. There's that 40 seconds. Woo! All right, coming back up. This will be our last set of deadlifts. Or some of you are choosing to go for some squats on this exercise. Set the feet. Moose is having a good time. Draw the belly in, long spine as you get into position for those deadlifts. And here we go. Push those knees wide. Squeeze the booty. He sounds vicious, doesn't he? Especially those of you working with one arm on these deadlifts, make sure you're not letting your hips shift. They'll typically shift away from the side that's holding the weight. So you want to focus to keep straight back, straight up. 30 seconds. Over and up. 1 or 2 more. And rest. Fantastic. Push-ups. Either elevated on a chair, taking it down to the floor, or you can lean right against the wall and work some push-ups off the wall. All right, place those hands. And 3, 2, 1, here we go. This is getting a good workout. Keeping the dog in the yard in between exercises. Got a beautiful backyard here, but we're not fenced in, so it's a little bit of a game. Keep the puppy entertained. Good. Watch those elbows now. Don't let them start to wing wide. Good. Looking strong. 15 seconds left. Nice, Diane. Good job. Heck yeah, Kathy, all the way to the chest and then coming up from there. Fantastic. Me one more time, friends. 2, 1, and rest. All right, just the blood flow piece remaining. Come on up. Similar pattern, step or jump jacks first. Woo! Excellent. We'll go another 10 seconds here. Then back to that march and punch. We are going to change up the final exercise of this set. All right, but first the march and punch or the skip and punch. So the march would just be a little bit slower. Skip adds that little hop in there. Good. All right, so we're still going to work that cross crawl pattern if you feel best in front of the body, or we'll expand it to go in behind the body. You bend the knee and reach for the foot behind you. I'm going to practice this one for 30 seconds, a little bit longer to finish out this set. Nice. 10 seconds left. Lifting up. Make sure you have a good solid base of support as you reach across for that foot. 2, 1, and take that rest. All right, great job. Grab a drink of water. All right, let's go ahead and do a couple stretches here. We're going to go behind the back stretch. So walk the feet wider than your hips. Bend down into your knees. Draw the ribs down and in. Interlace those hands behind you. Extending those elbows. Squeezing those shoulders back. And then with that long spine, you'll bow down, chin to the chest. Pull those arms right up over top of you. Continue to hold strong in your legs in the midsection and then breathe into the back of the ribs. On that exhale, see if your head wants to be a little bit heavier, lowering a bit closer to the floor. One more breath. On that next inhale, come on back to standing. Wonderful. All right, if you want to use the back of a chair or make your way to the wall, let's turn my chair around here. We're going to do this stretch here. We call it the wall overhead stretch. Place the hands about chest or face height. Walk your feet back, draw the belly in, and then lower that head down between your arms. So no arching of the back, bend in the knees, but instead think about guiding your heart towards the floor. Hang out here for about another 15 seconds, still holding strong. Breathing. If you're comfortable to do so, you can slightly extend the knees. You'll get a little bit more stretch in the hamstrings. You can slightly bend the knees, slightly extend the knees. Try not to lock them out, but just feeling into those hamstrings a bit more. And then when you're ready, go ahead and walk your way back up. All right, awesome job. All right, we have one more piece planned. We're getting a little bit tight on time, but I'm going to take you through 2 sets of it. I'm going to be using some bands here and a little bit of a dumbbell. We're going to go 8 to 12 reps, starting with a lateral raise out to the sides, then a front raise, a bicep curl, and an overhead tricep extension. So first things first, either with a really light weight or with a band. So with the band, I'm going to stand on the center of the band, holding onto the handles or the ends of the band, and then I'm simply going to raise my arms out to the side as I keep my chin pulled in. Sometimes when people do a lateral raise, they'll push the head forward. So be conscious here, chin in. Midline strong. I'm going to shoot for about 10 here. And we're going to go from lateral raise straight into that front raise. So instead of bring my arms out to the side, now I'm going to transition and come out to the front. Nice straight arms, raising them straight out in front. Again, 8 to 12. Squeeze the glutes, stays tight to the midline. And when you finish those, I'm going to stick with the bands for this next one and go into a bicep curl. So I just rotate my hands so my palms are facing away from me. And then I'm going to keep my elbows in tight to the sides. You can also do this with dumbbells and curl the hands straight up. So I don't want the elbows to wing wide. I just keep them in tight. Per usual, I have no idea what number I'm on. Go about another 5 more. Excellent. Good. I'm going to use a dumbbell for the tricep extension. And I'm going to do it from kneeling just so you can see me a little bit better, but you're totally welcome to stay standing. So I'm going to take a dumbbell, both arms up to overhead. And now I'm going to bend at the elbows without arching the back. So ribs pulled in, everything tight. And then I extend those elbows. Bend and extend. 8 to 12 here. Focus to keep the head nice and neutral, chin in. Very good. Once you finish the 8 to 12 there, we're going to go back to the top. So I'll go back to my bands, or if you have light enough dumbbells, we'll go lateral raises. Once again, I'm going to take you through 2 sets of this. If you remember which foot you stood on, try to stand on the opposite foot this time. Stay nice and tall, and here we go. Remember to keep that chin drawn in, no protruding that head forward. When you finish your 8 to 12 of lateral raises, then we just simply transition to the front of the body and front raise next. Nice straight arms, straight up, straight down. Woo. Hello, shoulders. Very good. And then from front raises to our bicep curls, so you can switch it out for some weights if you'd like, or just stick with that band. Elbows in tight to the sides. Excellent. Good. Jen, once you finish those front raises, bicep curls next. Very good. And then after those bicep curls, overhead tricep extensions. I'm sure you could do that with bands if they were long enough. It's a little precarious to me, so I'm going to stick with my dumbbell. You're welcome to do it standing here, up and down. I'm going to come back to kneeling. So as always, no arching, ribs down, everything tight, bending at the elbows and locking it out. Down and up. I'm just laughing at the boys playing here. You know how to keep the fitness fun, especially with a puppy. Woo. All right, when you finish your 8 to 12 of the tricep extension, anybody that wants to do a third round, you're welcome to it. Lateral raise, front raise, bicep curl, overhead extension. Otherwise, I'm gonna take you over to the opposite wall. We're gonna stretch our upper body. Let's see, I didn't really plan for this, so we'll do the best we can. You have a wall or a doorway, we're gonna stretch our pecs. I'm gonna use this side of the house here. Elbow right about 90 degrees. Try to anchor that arm in. Try not to take the gutter off the wall. Inside leg steps forward. Draw the ribs down. Lean into it. Get a nice stretch and opening here in the front of the chest. And you can take your opposite arm, pivot away, turn the head and neck, and breathe. Come on, Moose. Couple more breaths here. Before you jump to the other side, we're going to stay on this side for a tricep stretch. So walk the foot back in, and then you're simply going to bring the elbow against the wall or the doorway. Walk your body as close as you can and trying to extend that arm, trying to bring your side body as close as you can to that wall. You can also reach up and pull it back. Draw that chin in. Very good. And then when you're ready, slide that arm down, and now we'll go the opposite side. I'm gonna have to turn my back to you. Elbow up to 90, place it against the wall. Inside leg steps forward, lean in, and then pivoting away. Keep leaning forward to open that chest. As always, watch that spine, pull the belly in. Very good. Once you've got a good opening on the chest, we'll step the foot away, put the elbow against the wall, slide in nice and close. And look, to stretch that tricep. You can reach up and around, bringing that hand behind you like you're trying to scratch your back. Pull the chin in, keep the eyes up. Very good. Go ahead and finish that stretch and then meet me on the floor. Woohoo! All righty. We're going to come on down to a seated position. I know we are a couple minutes over the hour, so if anyone's got to run, I understand, but I don't want to say goodbye without giving you a couple stretches for the lower back. So first, we're going to do a little hamstring stretch. We're going to sit down on the floor. Make sure you're sitting right up on the sit bones. We're going to do like a little hurdler stretch. So one leg's going to bend, pull the heel in towards the inner thigh. Sit up nice and tall, just bending from the hips. You're going to reach forward for that opposite foot. You get a little bit of a stretch in the hamstring. Sometimes you'll feel it in the low back. And you'll take that opposite arm up and over. You can peer up towards that hand. We're going to hold this about another 15 seconds. Let's go about one more breath here. And switch. Good job. Bringing it down. Let's go ahead and extend both legs out before we go to the other side. Sitting up nice and tall, hands on the knees. And then just slide down, reaching for the toes, bow the head down. And these stretches can get intense quick. So just a reminder, I don't want your whole body to feel like it's convulsing. Just nice and gentle. If you can touch the toes, that's excellent, but don't force. Puppy games here. One more breath here in this double leg forward fold. Coming out of that, and then we'll make our way into hurdler stretch on the opposite side. So extend the other leg, pull the foot in, ensuring that you're right up on those sit bones. Slide the hand down the leg, reaching for the toes. And then opposite arm comes up and over. Good. Peer up at that hand if you're able. Good. One more breath here. And come on out. All right, and then final stretch, friends. Seated twist. So extend one leg out, cross that other foot over, sit up nice and tall. You're gonna hug this leg in. You can take the opposite arm, reach it behind you, curl it behind you. If you can, get that elbow on the knee, you can. I'm just gonna keep holding it in. Turn the head and neck, staying as tall as you can through the spine. Good, and then when you're ready, we'll switch sides. Extend the leg you had hugged in, cross the other foot over, pull it into the chest. Sitting tall, you'll reach that other arm around behind you, crawl those fingers around behind you as you turn the head and neck, and breathe here. As you breathe in, try to think about sitting up a little bit taller. As you breathe out, come a little bit more into that twist. And release from there. Fantastic. All right, I'll come a little bit closer. We'll just finish with our 3 cycles of breathing. On the inhale, we're gonna breathe in, elevate those shoulders up and into the ears, and on the exhale, draw those shoulders back and down. Twice more, close the eyes if you know it. Breathe in, shrug up. Exhale, release all that stress, worry, tension in the world. Good, one more time. Breathe in, love. Exhale, fear, stress, worry. All right, friends. Give yourself a little round of applause. And those of you that are here with you, thanks so much for showing up on your Tuesday. And we'll look to see you next time.